This is the way Trump would be. Lucky? You're lucky I'm your owner. Lucky.
That's right.
Would that be him? Yeah. Oh, my God.
How are you, man?
I'm okay I'm okay now, but last week was rough. It's my favorite Rodney Dangerfield setup.
Yeah.
Have I said it before? Yes, on podcast test show 3, you did it. I mean, what is everything? Hey, I thought you'd be my Roy Cohn. How come you're not my Roy Cohn? That's my only joke I prepared.
I do. For
tonight.
I block people for you on Twitter.
Today?
I do. I just do it. That's my Roy Cohn.
Oh,
interview.
I thought I swear to God, for the 1 second I forgot what I had said, which has never happened to me before.
I actually did block a couple people on your behalf this past week.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You mean they didn't direct it to me?
They came to my feed talking shit about my friend Andy and block.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why am I saying it as if I wouldn't think you'd ever go to the wall for me?
Well, I'd go to that much wall.
Yeah, because you're it's not your real name. That's not your fictional person. Even your credits were fake.
Double block.
I plugged us today. I plugged us on a major television show.
Did you?
Radio show.
Okay. Well,
John Fugelsang.
Oh, okay. I've plugged it on there as well.
You said that you knew. He said you knew I was plugging it and that you were happy I was plugging it.
It was a great show because I didn't hear it, but I saw him plugging the show, and It was like you and Frank and Trace and
Trace was very quiet.
Trace is quiet.
Well, but they have to say. Frank has to say when he was in the other studio. Frank has to go, Trace, why don't you weigh in?
Yeah, right.
Because that would be great.
Hey, Trace, do that thing you do when we're actually off the air.
Well, he does ad-lib, though, right?
Trace is hilarious, yeah. But he picks his...
I don't even know who I'm
No
doing
one
now.
picks his spots better than Trace, though.
Well, here's the thing.
He's not a shotgun guy.
No.
He's a laser guy.
Oh, so like you never know when it's going to come and then it's going to get you in between the eyes?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and in the meantime, he's just fun to have in the room.
Well, also, the thing about it is that I, having won many radio awards for my outstanding appearances on podcasts, I know how to do it.
You won the pluggy?
I won the pluggy. Because it's in my wheelhouse, Josh.
You're a popular podcast guest.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Andy, we know what you're saying.
You would not be such a popular podcast guest if you didn't deliver on a regular basis. Now, if you could bring some of that here...
Oh, I just realized I have to cancel something tomorrow morning. Oh, no, I have to cancel. I'm supposed to do Craig Fitzsimmons.
Do you want to do it now?
Cancel it? Nah, because you started rolling, right? No.
Yeah, but I can edit it out.
Yeah,
or not. I can narrate it
Okay,
as well.
Narrate it. How about narrating it?
And he's reaching into his pocket for his phone.
Do you think this is breaking the fourth wall?
No.
Because if it is, as a bonus video, we could send out me responding to people's...
Somebody asked me speaking of breaking the fourth wall, someone asked me during the week if we could explain what meta is.
Oh, okay.
So, breaking the fourth wall is an example of being meta, where you take a convention that everyone agrees is a convention and take it...
Right.
And using the assumption that everyone already knows the convention, you do something different with the convention. That was
Wait a second. I don't understand that.
It's boring.
No. Well, how are you going to have a conversation when I'm on my phone looking for Greg Fitzsimmons?
I'm narrating. I'm doing a monologue.
Oh, yeah, but you know what happened was that I realized I never confirmed tomorrow at 11.
Okay, so now it's his fault.
Now, now it's a typical, now it's just a regular exchange with Andy Kindler.
Right, there you go.
What's unusual about that? Oh, Kindler didn't respond to my
I also have
emails.
To say in your defense, is there any looser talk in Los Angeles than, hey, you should be on the podcast?
No, but he actually emailed me. So I could have been the straight man on that joke.
You could have been. You do not play along well. Yeah.
Where's my Roy Cohn? Have you know Roy Cohn? I know you like...
I'm my own Roy Cohn.
Who's that?
It was my own grandpa, but
what is that song?
I did a parody of a parody.
There's no such song, My Own Grandpa.
It was meta. There is.
Okay, so meta, you explained meta. I think I heard what you said. But what's micro? Now, meta, what's the difference between meta and deconstruction? Nothing, right?
No, I mean they're in the same family.
Yeah,
they're sitting at the same creative table. I think.
Oh my God! What is that when you What is that thing you just did?
I think I
same table?
bloviated.
Did you lose
bit. I bloviated.
Did you metaphor? It's like a metaphor, though. Like,
yeah.
Is it as bad? What you said, is it as bad as when someone says Los Angeles is a character in my sitcom? Which was worse?
I think the latter. What you just said is way worse.
You know what? I made the show. This is me at Pitches years ago. You're going to be the network executive?
Sure.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Very excited.
We're very excited to be in the Andy
Oh,
Kindler
man.
business.
Hey, what are you doing, sir? Let me try and say something funny about you, who's at the meeting.
He doesn't really let us talk, does he?
Let me say something about you.
I don't know.
Yeah, and so that
He
they'll
won't
think
take
I'm a
notes
funny
very
person.
Well, I don't think. No, I don't think he will either. I'm sorry.
They think I'm a funny person who just didn't prepare.
Could you start over?
Okay, certainly. I'm so excited about being here. I'm a big fan of Fox Family.
We here at Fox Family, like I said, we're very excited to.
Is it really a family, though?
Potential.
If you think about it, is it really a family?
We like to think of it as a
family.
family.
Yeah, but what do you think when you're at the end of the day and you have to look into the abyss?
Well, I'm leaving on Friday, so.
Well, I'm leaving after the meeting. Let me start the meeting by saying I've never gotten a show from a meeting. So let's hope this goes well.
I think we can keep your streak intact.
Okay, so here's the show.
Okay.
Here's the show. What did I say? What was the point of this bit?
I don't know.
I used to go in. How did I used to pitch? What would I pitch?
I don't know.
God damn it.
I was playing the Fox Family exec.
Well,
I'm still here. I'm still here sitting in the office.
Here's what I would do.
No one has said scene yet.
Do you know what Fox executives person? Do you know what I was going to say next?
I'm not sure.
That's the show.
Okay,
that's the show.
Like it.
Guess what the characters say.
So a man in the third act of his life,
right?
Slowly slipping into a twilight-like fugue state. Yes,
fugue state, which is a separate idea of mine. Fugue state.
Yeah. You were just on his show, John Fugue State.
How do you do this?
Why? It's just like
puns are so easy.
It's a gift I have.
I got it. I remembered now. Okay, so
good.
Anyway, take all that other stuff out. Now, here's the situation. My show is about people in the entertainment business who are trying to make it in the entertainment business. That's the show.
Okay. Can we make it the dairy business?
No. Why? I'm a stand-up comic.
We have a lot of stand-up comedy shows in the pipeline right now.
Sir, if I was to cut
We're
forward...
looking for some more Red State fare.
Is this a current pitch or an old pitch?
This is us in...
1997?
Sure, 1997. We're looking for a sort of a real world meets Survivor.
Yeah.
Meets...
something
American
funny?
Idol.
Well, my show is going to be. I forgot what I was going to say. Someone wrote in today. I read a friend wrote in and said that it's definitely the Prozac.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Which should be the name of our podcast.
Yes,
it's definitely the Prozac. When I would meet years ago, and I pitched years ago, I had something somewhat funny to say.
The way you used to be back then, it seemed like you were going for a wouldn't shut up, just work the room so hard.
Well, that's what I would do. I work the room hard because I hadn't prepared.
Right, okay.
But it
is a lot like the podcast.
It is like the podcast. But I had another joke with it, though. One more joke. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Wow.
How long are you willing to be the role of the executive? What is your role again? The executive from Fox Family.
I'm willing to play it until payday.
Well, that was one of our best. Did we put best sketches on our best of the year?
No, we haven't had any that could even remotely qualify.
Mr. Weinstein, please come in here, please. Mr. Weinstein.
Yes, Mr.
I have forgotten where the sketch is going. Can you please help me along?
I'm going to run back to my office.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you told me your dogs were smart. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the dogs that are going to protect you, or the dogs?
Yes.
What if your wife one day...
We do drills sometimes.
What if your wife one day just knocked? What? And I'll be back with inappropriate things to say about people's wives.
All right. Are we going to buckle down? I think we need to buckle down.
Yeah, okay.
We're bouncing all over the place.
I will say that.
I want to know.
Okay.
I want to know. We're going to leave the potential pitch from 1997 behind.
Yeah.
because let's start with the sleep study, which you did last night.
Sleep study,
fresh
too.
on your mind. Second chapter, you actually sent me a text with
From the hospital.
with a picture of you all wired up in your face.
Could you see? I'm going to ask you a question. Could you see my penis? It's in the shot. I just wanted to see if you could.
I did not.
See?
I didn't do the 2-finger zoom on my phone.
Would you mind calling my penis Waldo, and then we'll do a Where's Waldo situation? And we're done.
Okay.
So I got there. This was a much more successful sleep study.
Okay, so you slept.
I did sleep.
I'm burying the lead.
I was prescribed an Ambien, 5 milligram Ambien.
Okay.
And so I got.
And this was around. You took it around 10 o'clock. This is when you texted me last night.
I took it at 10 o'clock. I've never taken an Ambien before, of course, since it's never been prescribed to me.
Yeah.
But I had an idea of what it would feel like. How's my acting?
It's not so good.
Well,
I'm back to being the ABC exec.
My doctor said, have you ever well, no, I haven't, but I can imagine it's a lightweight sleeping sedative of some kind where 5 milligrams or you almost wish you'd taken 10. So I had wished, no, so here's the deal.
Did you really lie, though?
Oh, I didn't have to lie.
Okay.
I didn't have to, well, I probably lied because I don't know any phone conversation I've had or any interaction I've had in the last 15 years where I haven't added a lie.
Okay.
At some point.
All right.
Oh, yeah, Ambien. Yeah, sure. The doctor asked me if I was averse to taking any medication previously.
Right.
And he said, and I
did you
said,
do a
excuse
little-
me,
did you-
doctor. They call me Percocet Kindler. Oh, I can't take a sip?
You can.
No, wait.
But
I see
you
what you're
never
doing.
know how long the
You're
sip's going to
politely
last. though.
waiting for me to begin. All right, so 10 o'clock. I texted you.
Yes.
I also tweeted about it, too.
Right, okay.
I said,
Which made me feel a little less inner circle.
I don't know. How do you? This is what I was thinking. I want to text Zach, but I also want to tweet.
Zach, you just called me. You motherfucker.
Here's the thing.
I'm just afraid that you've actually upgraded me in your mind.
I do think you're
this
Zach.
being.
I
Yeah,
do think
and that's fucked
I've
up.
upgraded you to a friend who I wish would do more for me.
I know.
Career-wise.
It's not good. It's not a smart move. It doesn't end well.
That is a joke, though, because I love Zach Galifianakis, and I would never want to think anybody would think I didn't love him because we needle each other all the time.
Right.
Now, I'm kind of saying this in a way that sounds like he could make a call and end my career, but
Right.
I mean it sincerely.
I actually hung out at your house years ago with Zach and Susan and you.
And you wonder why I call you Zach?
Yeah, I still do.
Which apartment was it? Was it on the West LA apartment?
Yeah.
And did we have Armenian type food?
It might have been that, or it might have been the time that Susan tried to cook like a leg of lamb, and it didn't work out all that well.
Why would you? Why in your wildest imagination would you think that would be a good subject for the podcast?
Yeah, 'cause
You can't-
Usually we skirt around the truth here.
No, we don't need to skirt. We don't need to bring that. You want her to go? Oh, Malgin's going to go down. If anyone's going down,
Wow.
Malgin's going to go down for that leg of lamb years
No,
ago.
it was good.
Have you ever had lamb with her? That's excellent. It's called a fasulia.
No, it sounds good.
It's a. All right, there's no way to dig yourself out of it. You know what? I don't like. You don't care. That's the thing.
I didn't think it was that big. I mean, I thought that
Just
was kind
tell
of. I
about-
thought that was the consensus that night.
Nobody knows my wife's cooking. I'm not a sexist. So I don't have a second cup of her coffee.
Yeah.
Like the old commercial. But who would want the first information you learned about Andy Kindler's wife?
Is that really the first here on Test Show 39? You thinking that's the first little piece of info?
The first information I would not want to get out.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
There's certain things like don't get out, don't talk about my nudist background.
Yeah, you talk about that way too much.
I know.
guess.
I'm not afraid to expose myself. See, that's how easy dick jokes are.
Right.
You can't even. I would say the next thing you say something that can't be taken as a dick joke, and I'll show you how it is a dick joke.
No.
That's what my wife said on my wedding night. No? Okay, I'm sorry. You know, those jokes aren't as funny about no. What does no mean no? Those jokes aren't funny anymore.
No, it was just
You had
it
a
was
whole chunk.
No, you front loaded it with too much bad baggage.
You had the seven.
You're going. It was kind of a here, smell this. It was what that was. The comedy equivalent of here, smell this.
That should be the name of our sketch show. Here, smell this.
Yes. Back in
I don't like it.
1997.
I don't like that idea. And we're officially, if you're gauging and you want to see how long it takes someone who has OCD and Prozac problems to go into a deep depression. This is what I call a deep depression. Is my first big lull, and all I'm thinking about is why am I not thinking of something insane now?
We're mid-story. We are mid-story.
All right,
you've taken the Ambien.
Oh my God, I even have a story.
10 p.m.
I can't even forget the story.
I mean, it's a story about sleeping, so granted, I can see why some of it's blurry.
I think you're right, though, that we should have a blackboard with index cards on it during the shoot. So I took it at 10 o'clock, and then I had gotten up 8:30 yesterday morning.
Okay.
And because I said to myself, well, I talked myself off, but I said, I got to stay up all day because I'm ready to fall asleep all the time. Not during the podcast so much, but all day, every day. I want to go back to sleep. I wake up, I don't feel refreshed. And so I wanted to make sure I was really exhausted when I went there.
So you woke up at 8:30.
Yeah, it was my thing. And I did with the Ambien and she gave me the nostril CPAP machine.
Okay.
Goes into it's attached to your nostrils.
Okay.
And it pushes air in there, whether you want it or not.
Right, you're getting there.
The air is going in.
Oh, you're getting there.
And it's not like this thing like, I've had enough air for a little while, I'm going to take a break. No, it keeps pushing the goddamn air down your throat.
Right.
Breathe. It's basically saying, here's my image of myself. I'll be 95 years old.
Right.
I'll want to die, but I won't be able to shut the machine off.
Stop with the breathing. Turn it off. Enough with the breathing.
He's not on a respirator. It's his goddamn CPAP machine.
I slept fine. I want to die now.
Unplug my CPAP machine. Unplug my CPAP machine and let me expire the way God intended me to expire. So then they put the full mouth on halfway through.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I woke up at thought I went to sleep around 10:30 and then didn't wake up till 4:30.
that's pretty good. That's a good stretch for you, right?
Yeah, and I have restless leg syndrome.
Really?
What?
I don't know.
Well, you know what?
Because it sounds so
Do you want
fake.
you want to crack up?
I can't stop my leg.
So this cracks you up. Why don't you? I heard for fun you look at my.
You've used restless leg syndrome as a punchline like at least a dozen times on this very show.
Well, I didn't know I had it.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I know to make you laugh, we could, if we have a down spot in the show, we could have Josh look at my X-rays from my pogo stick.
So will they be? Will they?
Yeah.
It's just saying pogo stick. I
What
had,
if
to,
I
I had to
died-
go back.
What if I
I had
died-
to retro listen to that sentence just to hear pogo stick.
Have you ever watched the segment again out of Schadenfreude?
Yeah, well, when we talked about it earlier in the series, I did, and boy.
And boy,
And then I retweeted it. You saw the other day, I think.
No. Oh, I probably.
Yeah.
Very busy though at my abode. Well, here's the thing. And so I got up at 4:30. Then she let me go around 6 o'clock. And the only other exciting thing that happened, because people love these kind of
So
exciting
you woke
stories.
up at 4:30.
Yeah.
And you're just like, when can I go?
It's not. No. Because I was on the fence then. If she had let me sleep there till 9 or 10 or 11 in the morning.
Right. What was your?
But the office.
What was your hard out?
Well, the hard out is when the office opens,
Right,
because
which
this
is
is the
what?
very room I'm sleeping in. There's a doctor would be talking to me normally.
Right. Which is weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, here's what happened, Josh. At 4:30, I woke up. At 5:30, I sent the hookers home. I sent the hookers. And did you know? I didn't know if you realize this. The hookers are covered by your major medical
Really?
because it helps you sleep.
Don't work Blue Cross.
Everything makes you sleep. So I don't know why I add that tag there.
I don't know.
So I was out of there. Oh, the only other thing was I got lost. I realized that I get lost very easily and I panic. And what makes it worse is I panic.
Right.
But I wasn't late for my sleep study only because I left at 8:30 to be there at 9:30.
Nice.
But you have to park in the east structure. But they don't. But do you think this is fair? I don't care if you fall asleep. Someone has to do something about this. If you're going into a structure and two of the lanes say "do not enter," right? The one in the middle of the two lanes that say "do not enter" is the entrance for the parking facility.
Right.
Doesn't it make sense that I wouldn't see that one lane?
Well, yes, it makes sense. It makes sense that you would.
Oh, I know what part of your brain this is. This is if I got my instructions for my sleep test, I, Josh, Elvis Weinstein, would have no problem navigating to the facility or parking. Do you think this is the first day I fell off of a sleep truck?
Yeah. Well,
isn't that what you're thinking?
You took the words out of my mouth.
You're thinking you would never make the screw-ups.
No, it's just you were
life.
asking it in a way that made it just seem like the world was against you.
It's not that the world is against me. It's just that I should have printed it out. I should have looked at it before I left. But of course, it was my second sleep test. I thought I was an expert. But I wasn't an expert.
Well, you can't even pass a sleep test.
Well, I didn't know about the restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
Do you have that too? Probably not.
I don't think so.
And so I have to keep a pillow in between my legs when I sleep.
So your legs
Aren't you
rest.
sorry you asked me? I know, but
I know just the pillow you should put between your legs.
Oh,
that'll take the life right out of your legs. The My Pillow.
Oh,
restless legs. Try getting some rest there with the My Pillow.
Your neck goes,
and you're gonna want to wash it.
Your neck goes. It's not good.
It's not good. Your neck goes, oh, I see that. Yeah. And look at your head's going down right there. That's not good.
That's not good.
You'll wake up, you'll go, oh, my head was down all night.
I love the way he says, I even tried memory foam, as if there's more than 3 or 4 varieties of
I
pillows.
tried memory foam, and the curve didn't match my neck, and it probably won't match yours.
What a negative guy. Doesn't he claim that he's a positive American? I tried memory foam. Well, he doesn't talk that way, right? He talks Minnesota-like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My patented fill.
Yes.
I can't stop watching that commercial.
The rest of us know you don't remember that we've talked about him a lot.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go again. He does say he must have changed the commercial to order. You just say, order one, you get another one. Order one, you get the other one.
Yeah.
But he used to say what? Hey, just for the next 10 seconds only.
Right.
If you call up.
Order now and you'll get a second pillow free.
What if I don't?
Use the code order now.
What if I forgot to order now?
Order later and use the code I ordered later.
Or just put the amount of money in the check that will get you 2 pillows. You're always going to get at My Pillow, you're always going to get the second pillow at no charge. So don't think that you got a free pillow.
I was talking to Joel Madison at lunch today. He owns a My Pillow, and he has to do all the things you do. He puts his arm under it. He folds it over sometimes.
What are you saying? He's not happy with it?
He's not that happy.
Well, why would he buy a My Pillow?
I don't know why he would do it. The power of my persuasion penetrates all eventually.
Well, the other thing I can't stand is when they say, on any of these stupid products, if you're not happy, mail it back. No. If I'm not happy, I'm not mailing it back. Why do I have to mail some piece of garbage back to you? Not that My Pillow is bad.
If you're not happy, remain unhappy for the rest of your life. Go fuck yourself.
If you're not happy, what did you think if you're not happy, why did you expect happiness out of buying something online? I wish I hadn't said that. But in my mind, it was going to be funny.
It was coming out as a bit. It was good.
Yeah, it was coming out as a bit.
I understand.
I think it's important to let people know that your intentions were funny. Right. Even if you didn't achieve it.
Sometimes the rhythm will just do the work for you, but it didn't work that time.
I just think a CPAP machine is in my future. And I think if you go get a sleep study, I think that's what you actually have.
98% of people walk out of here with a CPAP machine and a My Pillow.
My CPAP machines are made in the USA, in Minnesota.
Right here in my home state of Minnesota.
Each one is tested by some random feller who wears the mask. If you're not absolutely happy in general, let someone know after 60 days.
So you're thinking CPAP machines coming in the mail soon for you?
You know, you probably have you probably can only afford the doctors that have the mail order CPAP machines. But I have experts, and the Cedars-Sinai is all on my case.
Right.
So.
Well, I went to my Cedars-Sinai doctor this last week.
Oh.
Is
it for what I think?
Yes, I'm pregnant.
Thank you. I told you not to use the pill.
Just my yearly. Yep, still don't have cancer checkup.
And did you get the?
This was just stage one. This was the go to the urologist to do the kidney check, and there is nowhere on earth that I feel younger than in the urologist waiting room. Yes, you would feel young.
I would bet that there are Henny Youngman joke books in the.
There's Henny Youngman
in the urologist waiting room.
I haven't heard back yet. But
now, what do you have to do? Just pee in a thing?
Pee and bleed.
Oh, they take blood.
Right.
Oh, boy, these
or
days.
As the old joke goes, Mr. Johnson, we're going to need a urine sample, a semen sample, and a stool sample. What's that? What did he say? He said he needs a pair of your underwear.
Yeah, that joke, I wish. Well, that joke, I don't know how you ended up telling that joke, but you've depressed me for a couple of minutes. No, just kidding. I don't know.
So second stage is the scans.
Oh, okay.
I have to go in for the MRI.
Oh, you mean after the blood stuff comes back?
Yeah. Then he prescribes the scans for some reason.
Oh, you know why? He appreciates a two-step process.
Exactly.
He's a guy who likes a two-step process. And what are the scans? Are they CAT scans?
It's usually it's always an MRI.
Okay.
And then
is that a CAT scan?
No, that's a magnetic resonance.
And what's a CAT scan? CT?
Yeah.
Chromatography.
Different. CAT scans are radiation-based thing, and the MRI is a magnet-based thing.
Have I ever had an MRI? Is that what you have from when you have a shoulder?
That's kind of more of an ask your doctor question. you might have.
I've never had.
It's the tube. It's the giant tube they put you in.
That you slide into?
Yeah.
I thought those were CAT scans.
Well, the CAT scan is like more of a ring.
Oh, I can't believe
whereas
it.
An MRI
this
is
is
a tube. I've been tested in a lot of ways. This is
what I really want. Forget about the expert.
I'm very excited about the weight loss and the MRI combination because it's often a very toothpastey experience for me.
Oh, I see. So you're going to be able. I have been 1 year on the starvation diet, and I can slide into the MRI tube. No problem.
Perfect.
I slide in nicely.
All my organs have shut down, but the good news is you can look at them easy.
There's good news and bad news, Mr. Weinstein. The bad news is that you're filling in.
It's one thing when your clothes fit better, but it's a whole different thing when machines fit better.
I don't think that. You delivered that in a way that I couldn't not laugh at it.
Right. See, it was the rhythm doing the work, like I mentioned earlier.
Did you ever see those machines they'd have on the old sitcoms where they would like climb into some kind of a big contraption and it was hot and they would heat themselves the weight off?
Oh, where their neck would it was like
their neck was out?
Kind of like an iron lung, but on the ground kind of thing.
And I loved all the men, the way they would give massages in the old...
Right.
Things.
The like, karate choppy way.
Yeah, the karate chops. I could use a karate chop.
No, I'll give you a karate chop.
I'll give you someone to be scared of.
I will take off my black belt and I will. So what's on this week's therapy card?
Well, in general, I had a moment with my therapist that was delightful for me, and but also funny for me as well. Because we were talking about serious subjects, and I had my little shopping bag, but it's like a small one that you get like a Bloomingdale's small bag. And my therapist says, "I like those bags." And I said, "I like them too." It's really true.
Was that your breakthrough?
That was my No, it just was like. I just thought it was a funny thing for her to say, I'm not good with stories. Why? Maybe that's my thing. I'm not a good anecdote guy. But I'm very stressed out, Josh, because I did not realize that I was leaving this. First of all, I forget when I'm leaving town. I'm keeping up with things worse.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
So
might it be that because you're no longer obsessing as much, that it's not as alive in your head?
That could be a part of it too. So it could be.
I'm trying to put a good spin on this.
I think it is positive spin in a way. But what happened was that I all of a sudden forgot that I have to leave town. And the worst part of forgetting was I have to leave town on Wednesday early 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Cedar Rapids where it's 8 degrees right now. But I didn't realize in my mind I transposed it that I was leaving early Thursday morning, which would have been better, but the gig is on Wednesday night.
Okay.
So I didn't. So I have therapy tomorrow. I'll have to cancel one of my therapies, which is a big deal for me. And I have to do everything in tomorrow. I have to do everything in one day that I thought.
No, you don't. Oh no, it's tomorrow night at 1 a.m.
Tomorrow night at 1 a.m.
Yeah. All right.
And why am I flying to Cedar? What do I think is going to happen there in Cedar Rapids? I need the money,
right? So
but why couldn't someone pay me that money to stay here? And no, I don't want anybody to get me wrong. And I know that no one will hear this since we never have a podcast that comes out the same week. Like I wanted to when I first insisted on doing nothing for the podcast. But I don't even know if I promoted the gig, Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, then it's going to be
chock full.
Yeah, because I have the casino gig one night.
Okay.
We talked about this?
Yeah.
I keep saying in my mind, I bet now you'll be. It's always better. The more you do comedy, you have a chance of having a gig that's not your favorite gig go better.
Right.
But my demographic is not necessarily people who go to Dubuque to go gambling at the Riverboat Casino.
Do you have a set that's like for those situations, or do you just do what's current in your act no matter what?
I will do what's current in my act, but I have a greatest hits list that I go to.
Okay.
So I will go to the greatest hits list and often.
Right.
But I will still pride myself on doing material that I know can't work.
Okay, right. Well, that's
nothing better than that.
That's part of the AK experience.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you don't get that, you're being cheated.
But you're also dealing with a situation where the people who come in there, the event of you doing stand-up is not the main thing, believe it or not.
Right.
Unless
people. It's one of those things where some people have stumbled into your show. Or upon your show.
I don't recommend it as the greatest shows. I wouldn't tape a special there. But the thing was that I was very angry at myself for a couple of minutes, and I stopped because I don't want to allow myself to be angry at myself. So far in the new year, I've not allowed myself to go into full-blown anger at myself.
That's pretty good. We're a month in.
Yeah, I mean, because what it is the full-blown anger, there's nothing positive to it.
Right.
It's, God damn it, how the fuck did I mess up that I have to be on a plane? I have to be on a plane 25 or 6 hours from now.
Right.
Horrible.
Right. And so what's the real issue with that?
The real issue with that is I still haven't done my taxes and various other things.
You're not doing your taxes before you leave, so just put that out of your mind.
Yeah, but then what if they decide that's the time to arrest me?
Well,
What if they change the law now that you have to have your taxes, even if they owe you money?
I think it's a penalty. If you get past the jetway upon landing, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was able to put that ahead of
because they sure as fuck aren't coming to your gig.
What? I don't even know what the slam is there. Is that the IRS? My gig isn't good enough for IRS agents?
Yes, that was the joke. Wow. It was like, oh, we could serve him his papers. Oh, it's at his gig. Oh.
Hey, they were trying to serve me papers last year.
Look here in the paper. Andy Kindler is going to be at Go Bananas. Oh, and oh, no. Well, never mind.
Well, I think that that would be good if anyone ever believed that they wouldn't want to come see my show. And I don't think that's
right. You don't
plausible.
think you can't buy that.
Do you think I'm like people in general? My reputation is he's probably going to bomb. Not so much now, but in the old days, it was like, he might bomb. He might bomb.
No, I thought, but it always seemed like that was built in.
It was sometimes. But
I mean, like I've learned only recently that you weren't trying to bomb as much as I thought. But it always felt like I'm sabotaging my set so I can get to the part where I talk about how it's going badly.
Right, and I think that the truth is...
So that was the show.
That was the show, but I think the truth is I always thought I was doing worse. I always think I'm doing worse than I'm doing. So those commenting about myself I would be making those comments regardless of what was happening.
Right.
So it's not really a plan. It is a plan, though.
Well, I mean, it's got to be at this point. You're 30-some years in.
Well, that's the thing, too, that I think is amazing about stand-up, although it's scary in a way, but it's also amazing, is that you do get the things that scare you, you get better at normally.
Right.
You know? But some people never got scared at, like, one-nighters and stuff. I always find those one-nighters and things frightening.
Yeah, so do I.
Right.
I always feel like I'm not commanding enough to do those gigs. And it's not necessarily true anymore, but there was years where I wasn't commanding enough to do those gigs. I didn't, you have to, I believe that there is a way to do those gigs with your dignity intact.
Yes.
Like you don't have to sell out your act to do it, but you do have to have a command of the room.
That's true.
You have to show true like alpha leadership in those situations.
I'm not good at that.
And I was never good at that.
No.
And like now I feel like more of a man on stage and I can do it a little more.
Yeah.
But, when I was a kid doing it, it was anything that was adult, I was like faking anyway,
Right,
so
right.
I never felt like, I'm fucking going to own this room.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well, I do think the one thing that is true about stand-up, and that actually makes it interesting on some levels, is that you really don't, you never can predict exactly how you're going to do. There's just no way. You just can't. You can say, I'm going to be good tonight regardless of what they do, and that still might not mean you have a good time. They could just start getting very loud in one of these casino gigs.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with you. And
that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
Right.
And then you have to make a decision. Should I plunge ahead?
That's what you need. That's the pitfall for Andy Kindler is you notice everything.
Right, but the only times
you can't tune it out.
No, I can't go on automatic pilot, but I also feel like in the old days I would get very mad at the crowd. That was very problematic.
Yeah.
So I don't do. I try to give. I
haven't seen that happen in a long time.
No, those were terrible days.
You get angry at yourself sometimes, but
yeah,
you narrate the anger at yourself sometimes. But I don't see that. I don't see the adversarial thing. That
not
used
as much.
To be
No. It used to be so terrible when the road was big, and because for some reason there was nothing more dismissive than someone's face when they're not enjoying your comedy. You know what I mean? It's like there's no look that is like, well, no, he just looks bored. That's not good.
Right. The date who was convinced to come to the thing. Yeah. Male or female.
Right.
Yeah.
And that happens. Well, also that thing, it's a cliche, but the couples definitely do decide as a group sometimes whether to laugh at something.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And the earlier in the relationship, the less comfortable the person is to laugh if the other person isn't.
Right. But if you had told me when I was in my 50s that I'd be playing the casinos, I would have said, what would I have said back then? Not Andy Kindler.
No, I'm going to be on cruise ships.
That's
so
why.
Do you get more? What's the ratio pay wise of the one night casino gig to the 2 or 3 night club gig?
Well, the thing is that in the Cedar Rapids example, it's tied into the Cedar Rapids club.
So it's just one price.
So it's a
for the whole
package
week.
thing,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think that my philosophy as a business person is, I guess nobody's getting rich.
Also, the name of your agency that you're over.
Right. Call my managers is not about the money management.
Right.
It's very hard to highball. See, the thing is, though, if I had the biggest representation, I don't know who that is anymore.
I don't either.
But what would they be able to get from people? Where's the leverage? All right.
He's got a podcast.
Okay. Now you're not talking to a small outfit now. This is the Gersh agency. I don't even know who books anything anymore.
I don't either. Don't look at me.
Don't
no
give
one's
you
booking me.
Well, I liked when the thing happened with what did happen at the? Oh yeah, at the Bill O'Reilly when he got. You know how everything is Me Too, the Me Too movement. Not how everything is, but Bill O'Reilly had all the sexual things accused of. He their UTA, I think it's UTA, but they said we're dropping you now. You know, we can't. This is not what we're about.
Right.
But so for years they were about making 10% or 15% of a guy who just basically shoveled up racism on a racist network. That what you were okay with? I mean, at one goddamn point, don't you have to say, I'm not going to represent a Nazi misogynist?
That was the point right there.
I know, but it's like, what hypocrisy.
Yes.
I don't, I think you can make the argument that if you're a manager of somebody or you're an agent, yes, you can make the argument that you can represent things that are not your cup of tea. But when you're representing a Bill O'Reilly or Rush Limbaugh, I don't see anything. I don't see you're part of the problem.
It's a very showboaty time we're in right now, too. I mean, even like the people donating their Woody Allen money are, that's a have your cake and eat it too sort of situation.
So what do you mean they are
people? They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I appeared in this Woody Allen movie.
Right.
I'm donating my check to the Time's Up.
Okay. Now here's my argument. Have we had the argument? I don't want to have a long one, or unless you do, you can decide how long the argument is. But have you heard my Woody Allen argument?
Yes, I have. But if you need it on the record, here, go ahead.
I'll put it on the record.
Okay.
Woody Allen, regardless of what you may think about him, with we can all agree that dating Sun Yi probably wasn't a good idea. But regardless of all of those things, you can't say that you don't know what happened between him and his youngest daughter. Nobody knows what happened, and he was never. It's a whole long story. I've read a lot about it, and I'm convinced that there's no way of knowing what exactly happened. So when those people like Ronan Farrow or whoever would come out and say these actors who were in Woody Allen movies should be ashamed of themselves, I think it's disgusting. But in other words, before you take a job in the acting field now, you should make sure that everybody has not been convicted. He's not been. No one. The idea of pedophilia. Not only was he not convicted of it, I don't know that there's any evidence that he
was never charged with it.
He was never charged with it.
Right.
And the prosecutors who didn't charge him are also now saying, we could have charged him. We would have won the case if we had charged him. And that is just, what's it called when you act out of your, that's not moral. It's an immoral. It's not moral. It's unethical.
Yeah.
It's unethical it's like Comey going to Congress to tell them why he wasn't going to charge Hillary Clinton. That was wrong to do because either he was going to charge her or he wasn't going to charge her.
Right.
So, and for someone to go, I could have charged Woody Allen, but I didn't want to hurt the family or whatever. That's just that guy's prosecutor's point of view on it. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I know if you write back to me about this, I'm not going to respond to you. So don't worry that this is going to start a thing. You can yell at me about it, but I feel so strongly about not telling other people that based on your rumor, I can't take a part in a.
Well, I mean, I would say that it's more than a rumor. There's an actual direct accuser who's publicly accused. It's not like I heard that his daughter said. It's his daughter is saying. It's not a rumor. It's an accusation, a direct accusation.
Wait, what did I say? I don't
you
remember what I said.
Because I heard a rumor. You said you.
Oh, well, I don't know what I was exactly saying.
All right, well,
with
it's going to be a little hard to argue.
No, okay.
With
Here's
you.
what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. If you, I talked to my sister about this, and people who've read, my sister reads all these books about like psychological problems and stuff like that, and serial killers. She's a very smart person who likes to read these books. The point is, if you had abused a person, committed an act of pedophilia, the odds that it just happened once in your life is not usual. And the fact that Woody Allen was able to adopt people afterwards is not usual. Also, I'm saying like you don't know what the truth is, but I do know for a fact that people have remembered things that didn't happen.
Right.
A lot. It's happened a lot.
Right. But
and
people's
people's lives have been destroyed.
Right. But I know for a fact as well that people deny having committed crimes.
Right. That's true. But is there anybody?
I'm just saying they both have a reason to have their side of the story.
I don't agree with that because I think, yes, you have your reason to have your side of the story, but
I'm not. I just think I don't think in this matter that because Woody Allen has made a bunch of great comedy in his life that he has more credibility.
No, that's not why. I just don't think that. I know what you're saying. What you're saying, which I think is a tough thing to deal with, is when you see. Is if you make the argument that the people I like their art are probably nice people.
Right.
That I realize that that's a very loaded. That's not the way to go. You can't say because I like someone's art, they're also good people. Right. It doesn't follow that way.
Right.
But you want that to happen because you like the people. So a lot of people will think with Woody Allen, that because I like him, I want to believe it's not true. But the truth is, what he's accused of has nothing to do with, if you're really accusing someone and you're saying it's not a rumor, and you start out with Soon-Yi is his daughter or Soon-Yi is, and you have no knowledge. These people who are coming to this conclusion about Woody Allen, they don't know they don't know that it's just his daughter Dylan who came forward. They don't know anything. They just know there was an article in Vanity Fair about it that claimed that Ronan Farrow was Frank Sinatra's son. So they don't really know. They haven't researched this case. They just decided this is what is it called when you like a lynch squad, lynch mob. Yeah. If you're attracted to someone,
by the way, Ronan Farrow looks a lot like Frank Sinatra.
I know he does. But let me give you an example. If you're attracted to someone, I used to be attracted to women who were 18 until I was about last week.
Right. Okay.
But when you're oh God, why now? To say that he's attracted to what you think is his daughter or whatever the hell it is. I don't even know what their family was life was. I don't really care. But being attracted to someone who's 17, 16, 18 is not like committing a sexual act with a 6-month-old or an 8 or 2-year-old. It's not a similar thing.
Older than that, but yeah.
Oh, I don't think she was older than that.
I think it was older than 2. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I tell my therapist I'm 5 in every story that I tell about my life. So I don't know exactly. But all I know is I've read everything that you can read about it, and I'm far from convinced that he did it, and I don't even of course I don't criticize the person coming forward, but I do criticize the guy from the Times, Nicholas. What is his name? Nicholas
Kristof.
Yeah, Kristof. I am angry at him for giving his column over and using his influence to kind of make a story be true that he doesn't know is true at all. Right.
Well, I mean, I don't have. I'm not. I've read a lot about it too.
Yeah. You have?
There's compelling evidence. I mean, there's compelling discussions on both sides of it, I think. I mean, I do think that it sounds like from other kids, that there was plenty of Mia craziness and plenty of things.
What, you mean
to
like
please
one of the
Mia.
kids who's actually estranged from the family now?
Yeah.
What is his name? I forget.
Was it Moses or?
He's persona non grata in the family because he doesn't believe, because he says that his whole childhood he was told to hate Woody Allen. The reason why I'm bringing this up is it's good to get it out, and it's good to get it out because I'll tell you why. If I ever do a real podcast, no, I'm just kidding. These things upset me a lot, right? And I'm very scared.
I'm getting that.
I'm very scared of what your judgment will be, even though you're not really judging or whatever.
Right.
But I'm tired in a way of not talking about things that I believe in because I'm afraid. Like, I feel like I can talk to you about this, and I'm not really upset about it, as I have been when I've argued with other comics about it or argued with people about it. But I do believe in what I'm saying, so it's interesting to see if you can actually express it. And I notice I get very nervous because I want my language to be specific and right. And so, like when you said it's more in the rumors, like,
Right.
oh yeah, I do misspeak when I'm trying to say things.
Yeah, I mean, all I can do is help you hone your argument because I don't have a strong position here. You know, I'm confused about it myself.
Right.
I mean, the one thing I can say is I've stopped watching Woody Allen movies because I don't like Woody Allen movies anymore.
Well, yeah. The more you,
So it's easy for me to boycott Woody right now without having to take a strong position. I'm not sacrificing anything anymore.
Right, but when they have,
I just think that I do think if you look at Woody's attitude towards younger women and sex and things and his indifference to what other people think, I don't think there's anything in Woody's history with women that gives him more credibility. Is what I'm saying.
As to being a child pedophilia, I don't think there's nothing to see. That's the thing. It's such a big leap to me, is to say because generally I understand what you're saying.
I'm not equating the two things. I'm not saying that because you think teenage girls are sexy, you think children are sexy. I mean, it's a different biological response that we're talking about.
Right, and like according to my sister, it's such a different biological. It's amazing that people would.
And I understand that it's like, yes, he sets himself up for being super creepy because of the Sunni thing.
Yes.
No matter what, Woody Allen became super creepy after that.
Well, Mariel Hemingway.
And you can decide how,
right.
Based on that, whether you can consume his shit anymore.
Well, Mariel Hemingway said that she did feel he was attracted to her. And I never heard that before.
Well, and I just read. Did you read the article about someone went through his papers that were donated to some institution and from years ago,
right?
And it was like tons and tons of shit about teenage girls in there and his lust for teenage girls,
But the thing about it is the truth. The thing about it is,
but that's not my
right.
My thing is that we are in a time where the conversation has to go. The accuser has to be given credibility, and I think that's a good thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, I think the best thing would have been if this would have actually gone to court.
But it did. But that's Woody Allen's argument is it didn't go to court because it wasn't. There was no evidence because the tape that they made of her saying things had stopped and started.
Right.
So
but that's what I'm saying. It's like
they're lying about why it didn't go to court.
Right. It's not fair. That's why I'm saying the best thing that could have happened in this case, if it's going to be a live story, is that it should have gone to court.
Yes.
So that there could have been actual evidence laid out.
I guess.
By both sides.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I guess I guess to me, it's like when they were saying, when the New York Times and all these, it just was agreed on the media that it was so horrible that all the press people didn't ask Woody Allen about the charges against him when on every movie tour. That in other words, like it's the job of the media to ask him, because even though there was no trial, even though he wasn't charged, we should still take the point of view that he was bad because Ronan Farrow and Mia Farrow want you to say that.
Right. Okay. Now the other thing I'm going to have to take issue with is that if this has to be because you love Woody Allen.
No,
you're the fervor with which you're taking this.
Oh no! The fervor is because the fervor is. I admit that I love people. Yeah, I mean it hurts when someone who really is a guy who I was like looked up to as a comedic genius.
Yeah.
Right. It does hurt if he did these things, but the thing about Manhattan. The movie Manhattan is not like a movie. It's not like a Louis C. It's so interesting to me because, like, to me now, I look back at Louis C.K. stuff, and you can see how there was manipulation in it while he was talking about these subjects, right? Like, people kind of liked Louis C.K. because they kind of were indulging in the fantasy of him hating his daughter, but not really. You know what I mean? Like he would say things that, call his daughter, use the C word to call his daughter, but it was still in the realm of it's not really happening. That's what's funny about it. But then you came to find out that a lot of things that you were seeing with Louis C.K. were really things that were happening in his life, like him hating Letterman.
Yeah, but you can apply that same thing to Woody Allen.
But what I'm saying is, I think you could also say that this person brought their stuff in and it was bullshit, and that Manhattan is a brilliant movie, and that you cannot tell me there's never been a 40-year-old guy or a 35-year-old guy or a 35-year-old woman who's fallen in love with someone 17. It's happened. And I don't think that he necessarily, it necessarily means that, I don't know that he's necessarily making a value judgment in that movie about he probably is making a value
Well, but
judgment.
I mean, his point throughout his whole body of work is basically the heart wants what it wants.
Well, that's all bullshit.
You know, but
I don't like that.
Yeah, but that's what his message ultimately is, and that, you know, and
in his movies, no way.
Yeah, a lot of times.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's
crimes and misdemeanors. There's so much going on in these movies that crimes and misdemeanors is all about a guy who gets caught for doing. See, I think he has
no,
mixed,
it's about a guy who gets away with it.
Right, but I'm saying I understand that, but. To me, that's one of the most brilliant movies of all time because he's
clearly got it.
He's condemned. No, he's condemned to suffer. He's condemned to suffer in his mind, even though he hasn't. It leaves it up in the air because Woody Allen.
Right, but that's one movie out of 50.
Well, Broadway Danny Rose is all about the heart wants what it wants.
Right, but Bullets Over Broadway is all about the artist's moral universe and how.
I don't remember that one.
Okay, yeah.
If we agree on all the Woody Allen movies,
I'm not enjoying this conversation anymore.
Yeah, but if we took all the Woody Allen movies that we like, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't find if we could both agree on a few movies that were just brilliant movies.
I think Crimes and Misdemeanors is probably his best.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just a brilliant movie, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of Woody Allen's work. I don't have respect for his ethic of just because the calendar turns, it's time to make a movie.
I don't like that.
I think he stopped letting inspiration be his guide years ago, and I think he shits out the same movie time and time again.
Well, but the thing about it is,
and he's entitled to do that.
Yes.
But this whole, he operates in this little weird, exemption from the rules,
But
and
yeah, I guess so.
he earned it, I guess. Somehow someone feels like paying for a Woody Allen movie every year is worth it, So, God bless him. I like to work too. But what I was talking about earlier is like, this story is old. The story, with his daughter has been around for a long time. And I was talking about like the people who've worked with him recently and are now giving back his check.
But why?
To me, that's totally hypocritical.
Right.
It's like, yes, I get, it's fine. If you want to work with Woody Allen, there's nothing, no one faults an actor for working.
Well,
but if you're going to go, I finally got to do my Woody Allen movie and now I'm going to do my penance, for that indulgence,
right. Well, I just want to go on the record saying, because it's a podcast that I co-own.
Yeah.
That and a lot of times I will not say anything when people bring up Woody Allen.
Right.
But but sometimes I just have to say it, and now I know what you mean, that it is an uncomfortable conversation to have. But I just feel
I'm not uncomfortable, but ultimately the upshot is no one fucking knows what happened except for those two.
Right, but for the media to decide as one group that every person who attended Cannes has to ask him a question about the same thing with the daughter. How does that happen? And maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I just get taken away with, I think, journalism.
Well, that's why I just feel. Yeah, I mean, it's not fair. It's not, if there's not a trial or real charges, then at a certain point, there is the person accused.
Yeah.
Has nothing that they can do.
There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah.
And I think he's in that position. I don't think he's done anything to help his case ever.
No, he's not a good PR guy himself. He's a weird guy. Look, I used to love Woody Allen so much, and the more I read about him, the less I did like him, because he would always pretend that the stuff in his life wasn't affecting his movies. I always thought that was bullshit.
Right.
I thought he was just one of these artists who just, it's like listening to is it P.T. Anderson?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you'll hear these guys and you go, I don't know if I want to hear these guys talk about their art. Because sometimes it
well, you realize how much self-awareness he lacks.
That's very surprising to me.
Because you think of him as the guy, the person in perma-analysis, who's been doing nothing but self-inspection his whole life. And then you see that, no, this guy does almost no introspection.
Right.
And he likes to watch basketball games and plays clarinet, and he lies on his bed and writes movies with way too much speed,
Right,
to be good anymore,
Well, that's what's so funny to me in a way is like the stuff that Louis C.K. admired about Woody Allen, I think are the kind of things that are like,
well, I mean, it's like
it's kind of bullshit in a way because this whole thing. Oh, because Louis C.K. is like, it's the whole thing. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, and I'm not going to listen to anybody else. But I don't think Woody Allen directs that way. I think he's more of a like he doesn't
direct apparently.
Right.
Yeah. He just lets it play.
Yeah.
Which is not that great if the script's not that great.
Do you think you're going to cut the whole thing out, or what are you going to do about this?
No, it's you
my thing.
own half this podcast, so I'm going to leave it in.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I know that sounded weird when I said that, but that's not how I meant it. Like,
no, I get it.
I want to go
but I mean,
record.
if you can't do it on your own podcast, then go. That's fine.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it a long time.
I'm just saying, I'm not entirely. My energy isn't the same as yours about this, which isn't shocking.
But let's take it out of the point of view, for the sake of argument, of art.
Yeah.
Of like what he is like as a person, and like look at the movie Manhattan. I don't think when I was 21 and looking at the movie Manhattan that I was a pervert because I was seeing this guy, whatever his age was,
I don't think
in love with someone who was 17. That's not. That's what I worry about in a way. Is like I don't want to change my view of the movie just because everybody now has a certain idea.
You don't have to, though.
I don't know.
No, I don't think anyone's saying you can't enjoy the things that you enjoy in whatever moral universe you want to enjoy them.
But the one thing you said that is exactly true, and is the crux of the entire problem, is that it is about how I feel. It is about how I'm afraid someone is going to say that I'm something wrong with me. In other words, like that's the core belief. If I'm defending Woody Allen, then there's something wrong with me.
Right.
And so I don't believe that that's true, but I believe those. I can feel those feelings, like when you're alone on something,
Right.
And I've had arguments. I had a couple of arguments with a couple of women comedians. Well, one basically. I'm not going to say who it was, but it was like terrible when that whole thing came out.
Yeah.
And it's just like then you are like shouting, and the person actually said to me, "I'm starting to wonder about you now."
See, that's what you're reacting to, is that.
Right, but that I think you could probably make the argument that anything I get really emotionally upset about has to be something that means a lot to me.
Right.
Which is like someone saying to me, "Oh, you must be a pedophiliac or whatever." Pedophiliac, that can't be the word, is it?
Everything stems from the fear of being accused of being a bad person.
True.
Right.
You've said it more concisely.
Now I can cut out that section.
Well, let me ask you: when you had this thing with the women and the Me Too, did you think about things in your life with women?
No, I did no introspection whatsoever.
Because you knew that you hadn't done it. See, if you have OCD,
right,
you could say.
See, if I did that joke to you, you'd be worried about it.
What joke?
The joke about me having a thing with the Me Too.
But it's not like, in other words, I know I'm not. It's like when you have OCD, you know you're not like Jeffrey Dahmer. You're afraid someone's going to say you're like Jeffrey Dahmer.
You keep bringing that up. I'm starting to worry about you.
You think that I've eaten people?
I think you might have eaten some.
I got mad at a guy once, and I did keep him in my freezer for like a couple of hours.
Right.
And then I hear with the whining and the whinging.
That's good.
Look, you don't have to be a cannibal to say.
Take a chill.
You don't have to be a cannibal to say that if you were going to eat someone, frozen would be better. Now, here's the thing: if you are a victim if you've been involved with Jeffrey Dahmer, do we need to warn somebody? Don't listen to this podcast.
No, it's too late for a trigger warning.
Wasn't there a guy who was accused, a cannibal policeman? That's his case. I don't know why it's in my mind.
No, he was accused of
exploring that world.
They were, it was like they were plotting in a fantasy chat room of some kind.
Oh,
but it was a little blurry whether they actually whether it was erotic fiction or criminal conspiracy.
Well, let me just tell you, just you saying it turned me on.
Okay.
I don't know. You call me old-fashioned.
Oh, I had a really good. I actually went to a party and enjoyed myself the other night.
What was this?
It was exciting. I went. It was Michael DeBar's 70th birthday.
Wow.
And it was really fun. It was nice. It was smallish party at his house, and
where does he live? You don't have to tell me where, but where? Like Hollywood Hills,
Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
And Steve Jones, Sex Pistol.
Oh, that's good.
Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne. Who's Gabriel Byrne?
Gabriel Byrne is.
He's an actor.
He's an actor. He did. He was in
The Descendants.
In Treatment on HBO.
Oh yeah, very good, very good. Well, how was he in the story? I don't remember him.
Suspects.
I don't remember him in the movie.
He's in the movie quite a bit. These are all just good friends of Michael's. It was fun because it was a
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson was not there.
God damn it!
Ed Begley Jr., Allison Anders. But it was fun because it's like all these people who I put in the movie. It's like, oh, they are actually here. And they actually love this guy. It wasn't just interviews that I set up with random people. It's actually they are the people who love him.
Well, I think I got that from the movie that it was like.
And it was also fun because at this party, I was a well-known filmmaker.
Yeah,
because everyone there had seen the movie or was in the movie, so it was like lots of conversations of people.
Did you wear an ascot?
I was like anxious about it because I thought it was going to be a lot of when's it coming out or why didn't it come out or. And instead, it was just a lot of really enthusiastic love for the movie. So it was really fun.
I think
a Sex Pistol knows who I am.
I think that
I actually reintroduced I was like, hey, Steve, Josh from the movie. I know who you are, man.
Oh, that's that is fantastic.
And my wife came away with a fucking unbelievable crush on Gabriel Byrne. So.
Join the club, right? Get in line or something like that.
I really had to reel her in.
Isn't she one of those good-looking guys from the
she's Irish. She's Irish.
Ah.
Too. Her mom's from Dublin. It was there was way too much for her to talk about with him. So.
But then she said, "Look, I'm attracted to you, Josh, but let's not get crazy."
Right.
This would be.
Yes.
This is when I say out of my league.
She was a little bit swoony. She was swoony.
Swoony.
What was that swooning. Name?
Who is that? Oh, no, but that Swoony is a name. Swoony.
There's Swoozy.
Swoozy Kurtz?
Yes.
I want someone to be, their last name to be Swoony in a movie. Like Ed Swoony. A guy who can't stop talking, who's too excited about things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God. I don't know what's happened to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying, if, you know how Cramden is a great last name?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about it that he's all crammed in? He's crammed in that apartment. He's crammed in as a person because he's a big person. So I never ever see, and it could be that's just a coincidence. It's crammed in. It has nothing to do with that. But I was very happy with myself when I said, "Oh, I get the extra angle to that name."
The critical thinking,
right? So Swoony would be a guy who's like a glad-hander. Oh, have you got the new Britney Spears album? It's the greatest. Come on, Swoony. I don't have the rest of the script.
So where Schmoozy would go, you put Swoony. Let's go to.
I'm not exactly original. No, let's talk about something now.
Okay.
Why was it such a failure? This podcast. No, I thought I
don't think it was. I think
it was good.
I think people will certainly learn your position on the Woody Allen matter. I think I feel okay about it. Honestly, I think we've had a few lately where we're really ping-pongy. We're really pinballing around.
Yeah, but here we stayed with one thing.
We stayed on topic.
I do want to say when
it wasn't that interesting a topic, and it's
why?
But it was passionate.
It's passionate, and I want to also say to people when they listen to this, you don't have to take sides, but please give me the courtesy. What does that mean? Of knowing that I do believe I have a thing where I get upset, and then I'm saying things like you had to point it out that I said it was a rumor or whatever the thing I say. I get into this thing where I'm saying something that's dangerous. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
and then, so it's very good. It's very good for me. But I also want to say I'm not a co-owner of this podcast. I have no financial interest in it.
No, you're as much as anyone is. You're a co-owner. Yeah. And we're not giving it to Showbiz.
Oh, I had a thing. He texted me. So
speaking of Showbiz, before we get into reader or listener tweets, check out our merch. at Zazzle.com/thought_spiral. We got shirts and mugs. Help the show. I have to say, we didn't sell a lot of shirts and mugs.
Are you kidding me? How many have we sold?
I'm not going to say.
I thought it'd be hundreds by now.
It's comically few, I would say. Yeah, I guess it's comically few.
So you're saying that these people who claim to be fans of our show are not going to buy an item that they won't use? That they'll put in their closet?
So far.
Okay, here's Josh wanted me to tell you. Oh, by the way, Federer. My wife and I were almost weeping with delight. That's how much we love Federer.
Yeah.
We watched it live. He got his 20th Grand Slam title. And Josh says, tell Josh, this is from Showbiz, tell Josh tomorrow that Federer is like the opposite of the Vikings. Never let you down. That's his slam at you.
Okay, well, we're looking for a new producer for our show.
Oh, my God, please. How are you threatening him? What's the threat? Do you want to continue to work for some promised future
You
payoff?
will never work in this business again.
Is his last name Briz? It's Brizel, right?
Yes.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Do you want to do some listener tweet questions?
How's our listenership? Is our listenership going up?
Our listenership is doing fine.
Because it seems exciting when I go to the Twitter.
It's trending positively.
Everybody seems to be
It's trending the right direction. I won't tell you the steepness of the graph, but it's trending the right way. The 142nd fastest gun in the West says, did Andy really invent the concept of asking ladies if they think he's right?
It's true. I did not invent that, but I think I've popularized it
with meta-ness.
And I think I've taken it to the next level with such jokes, one of which was written by my friend Nick from the Montreal Jest for Laughs Festival. He wrote, HDMI right, ladies? HDMI right?
Which you drove into the ground.
I don't think you can drive something that funny into the ground.
Huh.
You know what I'm doing now?
What's that?
Trying to be a little polite.
I just checked my fat to muscle ratio. BMI right, lady?
Well, you gave me that one, right?
Yes, I did.
And then Todd Barry's I don't get nor does it work, which is AMI right, ladies? You should get that because it's a Sex Pistols reference.
Right.
Do you know what the song is?
It's
or is it a Ramones? EMI right?
EMI is where they dropped the Sex Pistols.
They dropped them?
They signed, then dropped them.
Oh, okay. So they must have written a song about it.
They did, and I can't think of what it's called.
Why did they drop them?
They were controversial, and they were like pissing off the Queen and stuff.
I don't like that one guy who's still popular. The one guy I never liked, John Lydon, yeah. Well, why were you a fan? Was he a great singer? Is he the one who goes, "God save the Queen and the Queen, God"?
Yes, he is.
All right, then I like him.
Well, he was the reason, honestly, that I became friends with Michael Debar.
Let me finish. He's the exact kind
Michael
of person.
Debar, on the show that I worked with him, was replacing Johnny Lydon, who was in the pilot.
Oh, okay. Let's go back. Let's crank this back. Also, it will help sell more. Well, you're not selling anything on it now.
No.
But it'll help get the buzz going.
Sure.
Okay, how did it happen? Tell me the story. I don't think you told me the story before. Because sometimes you tell me a story, I forget, but I don't think I've heard this one.
But it's not that much of a story. I mean, what happened? How did I meet Michael?
Yes, yeah. What was the...
Well, I met him a year before. He guest spotted on a show I was working on called Dead Last.
What was that show?
That was about a band that could see ghosts.
Was that with Ricci?
No, that was the Johnny Lydon show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that was the following year was a show called A Young Person's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star.
Ah.
Which was a British show that got adapted.
Got it.
And John Ricci was the showrunner.
Okay, so...
And in the pilot, Johnny Rotten played the father of the main character.
Oh.
And then when the series got picked up, Johnny wasn't very easy to negotiate the perks of things with, so they didn't keep Johnny.
Were you? Did you get close to Johnny?
No, I never met Johnny. I wasn't there for the pilot. I worked on the series.
So Johnny was like, "You want to get in the Johnny Rotten business?"
I think it was like there was a lot of like, well, Johnny needs a car, to take him to set every day.
Really?
It's like, well, no, but
Is
the
this
the rest of the cast doesn't have that, so Johnny can't have that.
Isn't he the guy? They all the punk rockers. He does a lot of spitting and mucus expectorating, right?
Back in the day, he did his share.
I used to, why I just realized I not like him? I didn't like him when I started to see him like on shows like Politically Incorrect. Because he's like I'm rotten. Hello. I'm very rotten.
60-some-year-old punks don't play as well.
It really should be punk rock. Should be a whinging, whining guy in their 60s.
Like Steve Jones isn't sneering all that much anymore.
But Steve Jones, he's the real deal. He opens his mouth. He's got the British. Where's he from? I know he's from Britain, but wasn't he got like a Liverpool?
Not Liverpool, no.
No, but he's got like a dialect thing going on. And the guy could talk for hours and be interesting. I'm only saying that because he was.
No,
great
it's true.
He was
really interesting.
I've seen him in other documentaries where he's been. He's just like you. I want to be friends with him for some reason.
I'll introduce you to him.
That was a good take.
I was swoony.
So you like my swoony character now? And now, feel free to email. What's the address for the email?
thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
And tell me where you think I was going with the pitching to someone in 1997.
Okay.
Okay? Because I still can't remember it.
Amelia Fox, his request, and Andy Dice Clay.
I never could do that because...
Are you the Andy Dice Clay? Like you're the Antichrist?
Very self-satisfied the way you did that. I couldn't do an Andrew Dice Clay because my friend Judy Toll, do you know Judy Toll? She passed away, but she did the greatest Andrea Dice Clay.
Yeah. I remember
and that was really, really great.
That was funny.
And I don't think you can out Andy Dice Clay. Well, first of all, no. I'm just not going to do the character. I mean, what do I... What is this, a request booth?
Okay. Yes, I actually do ask for
you mean for characters I should do?
Oh, well, that's that. We can determine if the requests are valid.
You certainly are out wearing your welcome.
Ed Head's birthday month. Happy birthday, Ed Head, I guess.
Happy birthday.
Who would win a 100-meter dash, Elvis Weinstein or Andy Kindler?
I don't know how good an athlete either one of us is. I used to be a little bit fast before everybody got taller than me.
Yeah.
So I'd be afraid to do anything like that we'd get hurt.
Okay.
What do you think?
So we win. We both win by not competing. Is what
I'm
you're
now
saying.
challenging you to that thing, and someone's going to
Can we make it a 50-yard dash? Because that I have confidence in. But 100, my sciatic thing.
Oh, you shouldn't even be running a 50-yard dash, right? Why don't you take the scooter?
I'll take the scooter. Johnny Elteni, what kind of time frame are we looking at for a live Thought Spiral nationwide tour?
Okay, this is all in my ball is in my court, and I need to do something about it. But it's not going to be a nationwide tour, though. Would you want to go on a nationwide tour?
If there was money,
I would do anything for that. I would go. I would sell napalm.
I don't want to do it before that. No.
I'd be a traveling napalm salesman if the money was right.
If there was good money, I would love to do a nationwide tour.
Yeah, Asian-wide, you said? Thank you.
I did.
You're a wonderful crowd. No, but we should do. We should get it going because we need to take this podcast to the next level. Yes.
So there's no time frame really, but expect some shows at some point. How about that?
Yeah, but yes.
Okay.
Are they asking these questions to have me launch into an obsessive compulsive complaint?
I think they know the show well enough to know that there's no route that does not lead to obsessive compulsive complaint. David Gogo.
Hi, David Gogo.
Is Andy a hopeless drug addict? I'm getting concerned.
Oh, wait a second. What would be getting him concerned?
I don't know.
Does he have a camera when I'm taking my heroin? Well, I did get concerned a little bit this week. I will say this. I really am crazy about this marijuana.
Right.
And I do like doing it in all of its different forms. I like drinking it. I like eating it. And now that it's legal and open, I went to our local place.
Yeah.
And so I bought, I will buy any concept that's pot oriented. I bought into the, sour candy concept. I have taffy. I have chocolate. I have sativa, tincture. So, but I was able to refrain before I came to the podcast tonight.
That's good.
Do I seem like I am high? That's the thing he's worried about.
You don't, no.
Aha. So I'm not worried about myself, but I do feel like it's the luckiest time to be alive right now for me.
It is a glorious golden age. Lone Shark says, I grew up in Flushing, Queens in the 70s. Would love to hear about what part Andy grew up in and where he hung out back then.
I grew up in Whitestone, Queens. If you grew up in the 70s, that says to me that if you were born in 1970, is what you
I don't think he meant.
Okay. I went to PS 193. I went to William H. Carr Junior High, which they also called 194. And then I went to Bayside High School.
Do you know who William H. Carr was?
No.
It's not a quiz, I'm asking.
I thought you would know.
No.
William H. Carr was, it's spelled with two R's. William H. Carr invented, in 1917, invented a version of the car. Unfortunately, he spelled it with two R's.
Right, and put a fifth wheel on it.
That's right. And he got beaten out by Edison, even though Edison wasn't involved with cars.
Whatsoever.
And then I went to Bayside High School. Then I went to school upstate New York at the State University of New York at Binghamton. So I was around for I saw them. I said this before. The Jets win the AFL championship.
Yeah.
In '68. But where did we hang out? I don't think we did much. Where did we hang out? Crocheron Park.
Yeah.
I used to hang out at Crocheron Park.
Is that where you had your doo-wop group?
Can you admit that you did a little bit like Frank Stallone's doo-wop group in the first Rocky?
Take it back. Do, take it back. I don't know. Take it back. Leah Beale says, how's Gruber? Gruber's good. I talked to him last week.
I was thinking about him, and I haven't seen him in so long.
He was in town doing some animated thing, and then he went back to Salt Lake City. But he's in and out of town.
You see Gruber more than anybody that I know does.
I don't see him that much, but I talk to him a lot. He comes to town a lot now where I don't see him, but we try.
How often do you talk on the phone?
Usually within every couple of weeks.
And how long do you talk on the phone for? Because I used to love to talk on the phone with Gruber for hours, but that was the days. Those were the days before you had other fun to do,
right?
Like computers.
It depends if it's a cell phone and you're calling me in transit call. Those are usually shorter.
Oh.
Or the home base call is longer.
I'm not good at knowing when to get off the phone or anything.
That's not Gruber's best thing either. So I could see how you two would never ever end.
In other words, he if it was up to him, he would keep it going.
Gruber's a chatty man.
So you have to. What do you say when you know?
I say hello, and then.
But when you want to wrap it up, do you feel bad about it because you know he wants it? No,
I don't.
Because you're very. See, this is the type of thing I wish I could put myself in a time machine and go back and sleep with your mother. What?
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna kick your ass.
I love that you went straight for the very upset character, but you said it in such a soft voice.
Yeah. Well,
are you talking about my mother?
That's that same command I didn't have in bars doing comedy.
I heard your mother. I heard your mother was so hyper aware she often had difficulty dealing with normal things. Why don't we do that? Yo mama has so many issues. We start with the yo mama has so many issues. She's in cognitive behavior therapy. That kind of comedy.
Right. Meta.
That's right.
Yes. Perush asks, what are your unlikely sloth activities? It's a hashtag, though. I think he might be foisting hashtag games on us.
Well, I do like that. If he's referencing, I have mixed feelings about the Geico commercials in general. Sometimes they make me laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes they drive me nuts.
Right.
What's your take?
I hate them all.
You never made you laugh.
No.
Okay.
I mean, probably somewhere along the way.
Okay, so
I thought it was funny the first 2 times.
Okay, so there's always something funny in the ones I like, and then they drive me crazy. So the one I currently like is George Washington crossing
Right.
the Delaware, and he has a funny line. Hey, we're all trying to get someplace. Hey,
Right.
Mr. Big Shot with the horn.
Right.
But then that doesn't justify the structure of that commercial.
Exactly.
No,
Like, I can admit that, yes, occasionally there will be a comic acting performance in a Geico commercial that makes the actor acquit himself
Yes.
or herself.
yes.
But it's jammed within a premise that makes me want to punch the TV.
Right. So the one with the sloth is a very funny thing. Have you seen the one with the sloth?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very funny when in a very short commercial they actually do a long take
Right.
of the sloth giving him a look like, are you nuts?
There's occasionally moments, but
That was funny.
then they run them with such frequency that
No, then you hate them.
even the funny joke becomes the bane of your existence.
They're still better than nationwide than pretending that
What am I
Peyton-
supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car?
You loved Brent. You said that everything was like Brent. You slept in your bed with your car Brad. One time you let your car Brad dry hump you. This is Dennis Miller as a dirty comic.
Doing a nationwide commercial or a Liberty.
Hey, Cha-Cha.
Liberty Mutual.
Why don't you dry hump that? Hey, if your car's Brad, do me a favor. I can't think of the joke, but I'm so into it.
You love your car. You named your car Cha-Cha. You love Cha-Cha. Then one day you fucking crashed Cha-Cha. Next thing you know, they're saying, hey, we got you a new car. I'm saying, hey, Cha-Cha ain't that bad. Huh?
I'm saying, hey, it's Ford. Hey, Ford 150. Hey, Ford 150. We didn't raise the bar. We are the bar. Hey, Ford 150. We aren't just the joke. We're not doing the joke. We are the joke. Hey, we're going to repeat the same word in the punchline as in the setup, so you'll think that we are the bar makes sense. We are the bar, pal.
I stopped listening. I'm sorry.
That guy though, but he's like, he's in your face. Is Dennis Farina? No, it's Dennis. Who is he?
Leary?
Dennis Leary. He's like, hey, pal.
Right.
We didn't just raise the bar. We are the bar. Tell me what makes sense about that. The bar is not used that way. We are the bar. The
Right.
bar.
That means you failed at the high jump. If you
Right.
If you hit the
If
bar.
you are the bar,
If you
right.
hit the bar, you failed.
Don't you think they should get rid of that slogan? Is it working for you? You do look thinner every second. You look like a different person, and I don't even care what you look like.
Yeah, well, that's
because
good.
and that's not why my hand is on your knee now.
No.
I
you
missed-
did that when I was fat, so.
I dropped my popcorn. But you look actually different as a human being now.
That's good.
I don't think it is because you have to be Jewish, and if you lose the schlemiel side of you, where's the comedy go?
There's still 50 pounds of schlemiel left.
I'd like that frozen.
Yes. The schlemiel custard. Was there, Kirk asked, was there a show you wanted to write for or be on but never got the opportunity? Well, Carson. We both missed Carson.
That's true. But I was never young enough. I was never old enough to actually have wanted it so much.
Right.
No, that's not true because in 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were of the era where it was still the golden
Yeah, it
thing,
was.
you
It
know?
was. Just I wasn't.
The only show I ever wanted, the only show that existed already that I ever wanted to write for was Letterman, and I actually did get an offer, and it was at a time when I didn't want to do it anymore.
What the hell? How come I don't know this one?
I think I might have even.
What year was this? Would you say?
This was right after Later with Kinnear, and I had just done 2 years of talk show stuff.
What year was this?
96?
96. That's the first year I did it, but then I didn't do it again until 2000. So you could have gone there. If you had joined there And then by 2000, we'd be doing field pieces together.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I wanted to be on I always wanted to be on Seinfeld. So that was a show like I look at it and I go, oh, I wish I had gotten a part on that.
Yeah.
Not like a regular, but just
get
like a regular. But I never got called in for it. I got called in for Friends once.
Yeah.
And I think I almost got the part, but I don't think you almost got the part if you didn't get the part.
Right. It's binary.
True. Not getting the part.
That was the other thing about Letterman is I was the head writer on Kinnear, so I would have going to just be on staff didn't sound that much fun to me.
Right.
But the other thing was like I had guys on my staff at Kinnear who had come from Letterman and they fucking hated it. So
My Hero?
They just hated working there. It wasn't fun. And I don't think at that time Dave wasn't that fun apparently.
Oh no, when it was really like post when he had the heart stuff that he.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's always been hilarious, but he definitely had a turnaround, a mental turnaround.
Right.
After
there was like three major things. There was the heart thing, there was the scandal thing, and then there was the having a kid thing.
Right.
That all seemed to mellow him in the right direction.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like again, he was always funny. I even liked him during the years where apparently he did not enjoy being like he was really upset. He would after monologues up. But a lot of that too was I don't think those original crowds were like the old Letterman crowds, the original crowds of the theater. Right. They were more like spectacle type crowds.
Yeah, it was a tourist crowd.
And by the time he was done, the show was very intimate. Have I mentioned I was on the show?
No.
Big fan.
You've actually mentioned it more times than you were on, which was 40.
Do you like my tactic there?
I did.
I was laughing on the inside at your delivery.
That's good.
But I was going to ice you.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel, oh, wow, maybe it didn't go, maybe he's upset?
No. Not even for a second.
So you're not afraid of me.
No.
You're not afraid of my judgment.
No.
But you, that's like that movie with the Woody Allen movie goes, is it because I'm obnoxious? No, that's not
What is wrong with you liking these Woody Allen movies?
I just want to say one thing. I never really liked the Woody Allen movies until I heard that he was charged with something. I wish that joke was stronger.
Yeah.
That joke was going to be like that
was like Bill Hicks. I support the
troops.
war, but I'm against the troops.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be. That style of joke.
Right.
I did love Zelig though. I did not enjoy Zelig.
I love Zelig.
Okay,
I love a lot of his movies, and that's one of them. I like Zelig a lot.
Also, I hope that during that argument that people realize, and I don't know, I was not upset. I was not like getting my feelings hurt like what you were saying.
No, I don't think you were being strident.
That's so terrible. That's my fear. That's my fear talking about it, is that I'm going to sound strident.
You sounded strident.
Well, then what do these things that you say about me, they seem like harmless jabs, but they're very, very painful because you're basically saying that you're describing the whole interview. You're not saying, oh, here was a guy with difficulty with an issue that he wanted to explore and he doesn't know, he has mixed feelings. You're saying he took that topic about Woody Allen and made it sound you felt worse about yourself after he talked about it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just getting it down.
Okay.
Someone else is in
Hey, it's happened.
Tommy Baccarino said, Andy, did you enjoy your experience at Sisters Rodeo in Sisters, Oregon?
I did.
As someone who grew up in nearby Bend, Oregon, I loved Letterman and the field piece who did at the rodeo.
I didn't hear what you said, but I think he's talking about the Sisters Rodeo, right?
Yes. Did you enjoy it?
I did. It was very much fun. I even did. That was a stunt that did not end up with a serious injury.
Yeah.
That was not a pogo stick thing. I stood up on a horse.
Yeah.
Or stood up I stood up on two horses.
Okay.
The implication being, if anything happened, if anything went literally sideways, I would be dead. I did have fun though. That was one of my fun. They put us up in this hotel that was rustic, beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
And that's and then I've never been to a rodeo since then. I should take a class on how to talk about things you've done in your life in an interesting way.
That might be good.
Yeah, it would be good.
Dude.
Or at least concise.
Right. Here's an idea when you're telling a story. Have a point.
Yeah, that would be. But even if I didn't have a point, I often wish I just was shorter.
That was from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, I don't know that one. I know the movie, but I don't remember the line.
Andy, which Sklar is funnier?
Which Sklar? See, that's a setup joke. That's a setup question. Like
the second part. This is from Tweet Bahara.
Uh-huh.
The second, Josh, best host, Joel or Mike, which is a Mystery Science Theater controversy.
Wow, he's asking.
Joel is my answer, by the way, because that was the one I was on.
And Mike was the one when?
Who replaced Joel about halfway through.
Where is he now? What's his last name?
Mike Nelson. He's the co-star of Riff Tracks now.
Oh, I've met him then, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand.
You might have.
The truth is, and I feel very sad about it, I didn't watch as many Mystery Science Theater 3000s as I've said I have when people have
The
asked
truth
before.
of the matter is people would be shocked how few episodes of Mystery Science Theater I've seen.
Wow. Even when you were on it? Well, when you're on it, why would you watch
I've seen... I think I've I don't know if I've seen every one that I was on all the way through.
Yeah. I hope to see.
I might not have, and I certainly didn't watch many after I left. So I would catch, if Trace and Frank were on screen, I would watch their stuff a lot if I was flipping by. Andrew McKenzie says, so this is actually Andy Kindler going to therapy with J. Elvis Weinstein, right? Or is it J. Elvis Weinstein going to therapy with Andy Kindler? Who chooses the drugs? I
think
read
it's
that
mostly...
The was included.
You are mostly in the doctor mentor role. No, I don't know what I'm saying. But I haven't heard you say something strident for 3 hours. See if you can come up with that.
I will. If I could rant, I mean, I'd be a lot.
Look, it may not be popular, but I'd like to weigh in on this fatty Arbuckle thing.
Michelle Wisecarver, do you guys tire of fans asking about your previous gigs? I'm answering for Andy. No. I'm thinking mainly of Josh being asked about MST because I know we Misties can be a bit enthusiastic.
What's the truth?
I don't get tired of individual questions from people at all, but I've lost my willingness to talk about it as mythology. You know what I mean? It's like I can only be honest about how I feel about it, and I can't always be a full booster of the whole culture of, I'm not a nostalgic guy for the most part.
Right.
So it's not my favorite thing to talk about, but I also have a huge appreciation for the fans of the show that they love it that much, and I have a huge appreciation that it did mean a whole lot to a lot of people. Like, it's an important show to a lot of people.
Right.
And I always want to honor that.
Well, I also think that there are things that I feel about in my life, that people feel about Mystery Science Theater, but it's hard for the people who are involved in it to feel that way. So, like when I brought up about Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
To me, being on SCTV would have been like the greatest, like being part of the revolution.
Right.
But she didn't necessarily, when she was describing, she wasn't describing it as a fan would think she would love it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is too. You were on the show, makes it harder, I think.
Yeah.
That's my expert.
I mean, when we were out doing Cinematic Titanic and we were doing a lot of press, and you end up getting asked the same question over and over again.
Yeah.
And, at that point you get really tired of the mythology part,
That's true.
of it, and hearing the story spun as the story each time,
I think that's the thing too. I have a big part of my brain that likes to revisit or think about things that were seminal in my life.
Right.
But I also know it's hard to recapture it sometimes, and it's weird. It's not a weird thing, because I feel the same way about, I love comic books, and I think buy into the energy of the movement of the thing. sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't, like for me with MST and that whole thing, I mean, like I was just not around when it was a popular TV show.
Right.
So I got sort of fucked out of that,
Yeah.
I certainly got fucked out of any financial benefit from the show, and I got, sort of fucked out of enjoying any of the success of it until after it was over,
Right. Well, a lot of those early Comedy Central shows, everyone got rich. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Liz Winstead got created by credit on The Daily Show.
Right, yeah.
She's on Easy Street.
Absolutely.
Just for co-creating the pilot I was on, Andy Town,
Yeah.
I still get money. Well, you're upset because I didn't have a good punchline?
No, I was trying to think of what there was. Andyland is what it should have been called.
Ah. Why? Because of Candyland?
Yes. That's why it failed.
I think now, in retrospect, that would have been a better name.
My point exactly. So yeah. So don't get tired. I don't get tired of it. I MST had this big, still has this big community of fans. But,
Yeah.
Look, from where I'm sitting, I'm prouder of Cinematic Titanic in a way, just because it's something that I was fully invested in.
Right.
For its whole life.
I for a long time, I was making the same mistake for a long time before I just stopped doing it. But whenever someone would say, "Oh, I've seen you on Bob's Burgers," and I would bring up that it goes all the way back to Dr. Katz, and the people, they don't know that, and they don't seem that excited about the news. But for me, that's a show. Now that's an example of a show I was on, but also get excited about.
Right, you were proud.
I was proud of that, or just also had a hero worship thing with it, a good thing,
right?
Like H. John Benjamin and Jonathan Katz and that relationship, and I do relate it to back to times in my life when I was, whatever you want to call it, coming up,
yeah,
or whatever. But it's just, I am fascinated by our desire to. It's not nostalgia, but it's like the feeling of recapturing something. It's not even recapturing it, but experiencing something that went away is hard.
Well, I mean, yeah, but with MST, it's such a complicated.
Right. Well, that makes it even.
Because I'm the only person of the, I'm using air quotes, but of the major players of the show who's no longer doing something that's related to.
Is that true?
Having been on the show.
Wow. Well, that's good though.
So yeah, and so, but to me, it's like.
It's weird.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to slag any of my friends, and they're great comedians and they're doing funny stuff, but I also am glad to not be doing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my focus is on a new thing,
Right. And then I think also the ultimate truth is, like, All in the Family is I love that show, right? And then when you start to get into the personalities of Carol O'Connor and all these things, it's like the more you learn about things, the more you might well, with that show, I love it, even whatever I learn about it. But the original, I think you can't separate all these other things that you have about these experiences, but ultimately the magic that people are trying to connect with on these shows I think is real. I don't know if I'm saying that well.
Yeah, no, I think it is. On MST, people have a really personal relationship with the show. And so it doesn't behoove me to poo-poo that in any way. You know what I mean?
Also,
it's like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think you do.
That show in particular, I think people have that relationship because there was such obscure jokes and so many jokes that people really felt like, this is my show.
Right.
This is for me.
I think people feel that way about the first Letterman show too.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. It was that same club kind of feel, that clubhouse kind of feel. But so I don't ever want to,
Yeah.
It's like for years I had bitter feelings.
You sound like me.
Of some flavor or another.
You sound like I didn't know you were capable of Andy Kindler like behavior, feeling things for years.
Well, I imagine it's still different than Andy Kindler. But
no, No offense.
But I pretty much look at it with almost no animosity anymore. It doesn't, I can work myself up if I dwell.
Yeah.
But everyone but Jim Mallon I like.
Right.
It's like everyone but that one dude I genuinely have affection for and, real love for at this point. It's like they are war buddies in a lot of ways.
So your goal in this podcast is to love Jim Mallon at some point.
It's really not. No.
I don't even really know that name, although I've heard that name a million times. I do know that he was one of the owners or something.
Yeah, he was the original.
Well, was he the Suit? Could you call him the Suit, like on Queens Boulevard? When on Entourage, where they would say the Suits, or was he a co-creator who got his hands dirty on the?
More of the second. No, it was he changed once it became once there was a business there. His true self came out.
I heard similar things happen with Tony and Tina's wedding.
I'm sure Tony went one way, Tina went the other. It wasn't pretty.
I actually know that is true. So my story is my joke was based on something real. It just wasn't good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way.
They can't all be gems.
That's right. Andy, I found out about you. This is Samuel Lechner. Andy, I found out about you from the Todd Glass show, and I listened to your episodes on repeat. When the hell are you going back on there to give Todd shit the whole show?
I love doing that show, and I want to do it all the time. So I just missed an opportunity last Tuesday to be on the show, but my niece was in town, so I couldn't do it. But I love doing that show. I love Todd Glass, and I like it, and we do get high sometimes.
Okay, then.
Or I get high.
That was more confession. That was necessary, really.
Well, it was confessional and yet not interesting.
Lucid Nightmare says, Josh, what's your favorite Elvis Costello record? Andy, what's your favorite Bob Dylan record? Favorite Elvis Costello is probably Imperial Bedroom.
Oh, that's so great. I think my favorite is still Blood on the Tracks, but I wouldn't say that's the greatest. I think it's an amazing album. But
favorite is the question, though.
It is my favorite album because of the time period of my life when it came out and the things I was going through. Really made me love that album.
Alex asks, if Andy had to save one of the following from a burning house, would it be and why? Bill Maher, Ricky Gervais, or Dennis Miller? Bill Maher.
Right.
I was doing a Karnak.
Bill Maher.
Ricky Gervais. Or Dennis Miller.
May a weird holy man. Whatever they would do on your pulpit. It's a hard one. I wouldn't go out of my way for any of those guys in the burning house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't want to be cruel, but what's in it for me to save Ricky Gervais, who doesn't believe in God? I'd rather save a God-fearing person.
I think Dennis Miller is probably a God-fearing person.
Nah. Dennis Miller I wouldn't save because I just don't see any situation in life where the urge to save Dennis Miller would outweigh all the other urges.
What are you doing saving Bill Maher, Chooch? Come on.
Bill Maher definitely would not save. I would yell at him while the house was burning around him. Oh, you're caught in a house fire? My old job.
Hey, let me plead my case like Clarence Darrow here.
I think you do a good Dennis Miller because you're not into it. I mean, you are. I mean, it's like you don't do a full voice.
Right.
But he doesn't deserve a full voice.
It's what we call a characterization.
Ooh.
Yoshi Yamamoto, Andy, do you feel vindicated now that many things you said on the Josh Zepps podcast ended up being true? Not only was Zepps wrong about the European elections, he seemingly has moved further right since then, i.e. he's become a free speech on college campuses guy.
I have muted him, so that just made me feel good saying that. I do feel that I was right. I feel like I feel vindicated in that I was right. I feel that I was right in not in that I was right to hate people who hate people just because of their religion. I was right to be angry with him because he said my mother was like my mother being a Quaker is ridiculous or whatever he says. So yeah, I actually feel vindicated, but I still feel like I have a lesson to learn about getting my, I don't know. I got very upset in that podcast. I yelled. I've never listened back to it. I don't think anything I did was wrong, but I regret letting a guy like that get to me, which I think is what happens, is those guys get to me, and I think I'm a different person now. I don't like when I get into those arguments, even if I'm right about Sam Harris, but if I come off being strident, But no, I really am disappointed but I will say this. I'm very disappointed in Josh Zepps because I used to go on his show. Do you know who he is?
Not really.
He used to have a show on Huffington Post or something. He did a show when Don Rickles, I think it was when Don Rickles died or somebody. But I didn't know that he was this kind of person. And when I say this kind of person, I mean one of these like new atheist type people. I just thought
this is that show you got roped. Yeah, I mean, I remember you telling the story.
And I didn't get, he didn't rope me in. He didn't. It was all my fault.
Right.
I should have known what I was doing, but I didn't know going in that that's the way he was going to be. And it is very disappointing to know that that's who he is. And I've muted him, but it's also these people like Dave Rubin. I don't know if you know Dave Rubin. It's like the Rubin Report.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people making money with this kind of angry, anti-liberal. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's going around.
Right. Casanova Frankenstein. I can't believe Andy hasn't seen The West Wing. I think you should give it a shot. Sorkin is a badass. One of my all-time faves. I'm
not against it, but I didn't like that movie he made about the presidency that much.
No.
His dialogue is a little bit. It's hard for me to get past his dialogue, but I'm sure I should.
Well, I mean, West Wing's a good watch.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But it's, if
I want to watch. I haven't watched the rest of What About Saul? What's it called?
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. I haven't watched the rest of that, so it'd be hard for me to go back into the West Wing before. But call me in a few years. I love when I answer questions and it becomes clear that I am answering the question way past the time that anybody cares.
Right. Well, I think we've done a lot of show here.
We did. This is the longest show that we. Well,
I
you
wanted
won't
to
know.
tell you today is the first day that you are allowed to file taxes for 2017. So. You were asking me before, when can I get this in?
Yeah, that's the thing, because I'm so far ahead.
Right. Give us a write at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com. Check us out at thought_spiral at Twitter. And buy my movie, I Need You to Kill, at Amazon, iTunes, Google Play.
I need you to kill. I need you to buy this movie. Huh? You can use that.
Thank you. You got anything?
I'm done.
All right.
I'm so done that I don't even have the energy to do 4 or 5 of my lame closing bits. Like normally I'd say, let me try and do a real ending. Josh, hey, Josh, what are you doing with your hand? That could be one.
Right.
Josh.
You're not going to do them, though. Right?
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Josh, I've caught, Josh, someone's stepping on my air hose. That would be me in a hotel room.
Okay. But you're not going to do it.
Until next time, remember, every thought is a spiral. I'm not going to do something like that.
You're not going to do that. Okay.
But what I will do is this. And so until next time. Why? Because we like you. I'm sorry, Josh. It is Josh, right?